Hey, it's Julie. I've put together a lower body stretch and lengthen routine for you to follow along with to open up through the hips, through the glutes, through the thighs, the hamstrings, even the calves and the ankles. So follow along with me. You can do this with your shoes and socks off. Find a comfortable place and grab a mat if you need one. For the first stretch, standing, take one leg in front of and across the other leg so that your feet are next to each other. And then we're going to hinge forward, let the arms hang. Now push your bum out behind you as you do the stretch, and then let everything relax. Squeeze your legs together and push the bum behind you. You should feel this in through the side of the hip. You might actually feel this stretch all the way down on the inside and outside of the standing leg as well, the leg that's supporting. As you exhale, see if you can find a little more depth to the stretch. Relax your head and shoulders. And now slowly roll back up. All right, let's switch to the other side. Opposite leg across. Squeeze those feet together and hinge forward. If you're finding you're losing your balance, just bring your hands out to either side. And notice if you feel differences in each side. I feel this stretch into the inner part of my hip as well as the outer. Breathe out. See if you can deepen that stretch. Relax everything. And then roll up. Nice and slow. All right, for this next one, a runner's lunge. So we're going to bring one leg to the floor, one leg in front. Let that back knee drop, but be gentle. And then check to make sure that front knee is stacked over the ankle and not coming too far forward over those toes. From here, hands to either side, push the hip forward and hold it there. Now never force the stretch. So if it feels really tight, you might be up here in the stretch and that's fine. Breathe through it. Hold it gently. No pain. Relax your shoulders. An option for this stretch is to bring the shoulders back, but keep the hip forward and stack the shoulder over the hip. You may find that the stretch not only isolates itself to the lower part of the hip flexor, but up a little higher into your torso, into the rib area. Do what you need to do for your body. Come out of it nice and slow. All right, switching to the other leg. So one knee to the floor gently, other leg in front. Push the hip forward. Your choice to hang out here or come back wherever you feel your body is telling you to go. Relax the shoulders. Relax your feet and breathe. Come out of it very slowly and have a seat on the floor. All right, for this next stretch, we're going to do this in a sideline position. So letting your head relax down on your arm or head in your hand. Okay, one leg on the floor, and then you're going to bring that one foot into your hand and drive it back. So basically think of squeezing your inside of each thigh together, pull that foot towards your bum, drive the knee back. You might be so tight that that knee is coming forward. Push that hip forward, try to drive that knee back. So our knees and hips are stacked on top of each other here, getting a nice stretch through the front of the thigh. If you're really tight in through that quadricep muscle, the muscle in the front of your legs, you might feel a little pulling as well around the knee. If it's too much, don't pull your leg or your foot so close to your bum, back off just a little bit so that it's not uncomfortable. Relax everything. And slowly let that leg go. We will do the other side. This is just an alternative to the standing quad stretch. And it's just nice to do, just to let everything relax. So take that knee into your hand and drive it back. You might find that's not enough, that when you lay down, it deepens the stretch. Knee back, hip forward. Relax your shoulders. Most important part here to get into that quad is to keep on thinking about pressing the knee back and pressing the hip bone forward. And come out of that nice and slowly. All right. The next stretch we're going to do is this little seated hip opener. So, 2 ways of doing this stretch. Leg is on the floor, one ankle across the thigh, sitting up nice and tall, flexing the foot that's across the thigh to protect the right knee here, and hinging forward, gently pressing above the knee, not on the knee here, gentle pressure, so we can get into the outside of that hip. So that nice big area, the glute medius, glute minimus. If that's not enough of a stretch, take the foot across the thigh, one foot on the floor, push your bum close to your ankle, shoulders back, and then drive the knee away. So instead of hanging out like this, actively press that knee away, flex the foot, shoulders back. The taller you sit here, the more you will get into the right muscle. As soon as you start to round, we lose that connection to those deeper hip muscles we're trying to target here to loosen up. Shoulders back. Drive that knee away. Oh, I feel that. Sometimes the smallest little adjustment can really have a big, big difference. And relax. All right. Take that one leg across, foot to the floor or on the floor, your choice. Press the bum to the knee, drive the knee away, shoulders stay back. So right now I'm stretching the left glute and I can actually feel this on the outside aspect of my hip. Relax. You might yawn. Be mindful and connect with your body. Feel how it feels in those muscles, in those joints. What sensations do you feel? And relax slowly. Okay, time for the seated toe reach. So we're going to extend those legs and start working through the hamstrings now. Again, that concept of sitting up nice and tall so that we avoid rounding totally applies here. So legs in front of you. If you're very tight in your hamstrings, this might be a challenge for you. If so, use your hands to push you slightly forward. And as you do so, flex your feet. If we can flex our feet, we get deeper into the muscles all the way up. The hamstrings, the calves and the hamstrings. And then come fold over your legs without rounding through your spine. If I do this, I've lost essentially 80% of that stretch through the legs. Reach where you can. Here, maybe you're here, or maybe straightening your legs and sitting up tall. This is about all you can handle. Listen to your body. And breathe. And slowly roll on up. From that position, it's a simple transition to our heels together stretch. So bring those heels together, hold under the toes, sit up nice and tall here, and hinge forward once again. This should be felt in the inner thighs. We're going to feel that right in there. Use your hands to pull and just go where you need to go. If this is too much, back off And hang out when you start to feel those muscles stretch. On each exhale, try and deepen that connection into that stretch. Relax your neck. And gently come on up. Now we're going to just press those heels away from us a little bit to change the dynamic of this stretch. We might transition that stretch more from the inner thigh to more to the outer thigh here. So holding there, sitting up tall and forward. All right, hinging at the waist. Maybe this is where you need to be to get that stretch. Maybe your hands are here. You can gently press down those knees. Maybe you can reach here. Now relax the shoulder, round through. See if you can come a little lower here. Checking out your belly button. And slowly come on out of that. When it comes to stretching, the goal is to ease into it and stretch slow. The best time to stretch actually is after your body has been warmed up. I recommend dynamic stretches, so moving through range of motion before you start a workout, and then finishing a workout with static stretches like we're doing now. When you stretch a muscle too much, too fast, when it's a little too cold, you run the risk of actually doing the opposite. There is a reflex built into our muscle fibers, which will in fact protect that muscle, which is why so often when you stretch too quick, there it is, you get a muscle pull, Charlie horse, whatever you want to call it, you can damage a few of those fibers within the tissue of the muscle and cause a tighter muscle. So ease into it. Slow is better, and try to hold each stretch for at least 20 to 30 seconds, if not longer. All right. Now, next up, we're going to do a cat-cow stretch. So this isn't technically lower body, but core is part of our overall powerhouse. So we're going to finish off with this stretch as well, followed by one calf stretch. So just to get some movement into those hips and legs we've stretched out. Shoulders over the wrists, feet to the floor, knees under hips. Here, start to tuck that tailbone under as you arch up, trying to get the back of your spine up to the sky. Now slowly roll down, drop the belly as you look up. Tailbone starts to tuck under, chin tucks, eyes come down. And relax, belly to the floor, eyes to the sky. And release. All right, that should be good after all of those lower body stretches. The final stretch is going to be a calf stretch, and I'll show you two versions because there are two sets of calf muscles. One muscle crosses the knee joint, one doesn't, so we're going to get into both of those. To stretch the calves, you can stand with one leg behind you, heel to the floor. So you want to get that heel to the floor and then coming forward as much as you need to really start feeling the stretch. Keep that heel on the floor. Relax your neck and shoulders. Never push on your knee, by the way, ladies. Always make sure if you are going to lean and rest on your thigh that it's well above the knee. Relax. As you become a little more stretched out through the calf, you might experiment with bringing that foot a little further beyond, dropping the heel and see if that's made a little bit of a difference. As we come out of this, very slowly, switching to the opposite side. Heel to the floor, and keep that heel pressed. Notice if one side is maybe a little different than the other. I can feel on this side, I can't quite extend my leg back as far with the right heel as I could with the left. So perhaps my right calf is just a little tighter than the left. The longer you hold it, the more you'll start to feel that muscle give in a little more as you ease into this. And slowly come out of that. All right, the last one, find yourself a wall. Feet up, toes up the wall. Lean forward and keep a small bend in that knee. So this time we want to bend the knee, hip forward, toes up, and leaning into that stretch. Often our ankles are very neglected when it comes to mobility and flexibility. So any work we can do to open up through the ankle is great. Bend that knee and push forward. There we go. So as I bend through my left knee with the heel on the floor and those left toes up the wall, I can really feel a deep, deep, deep stretch just above my Achilles tendon. So be aware. And if you feel something like that, maybe give that part of your body a little extra attention. Relax your face and your neck and slowly come out of that. Whew. Okay, I feel a little bit like a noodle. So feel your way through. Hips should feel open, thighs, legs, calves, ankles. I hope you enjoyed that lower body stretch and lengthen routine.